Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's the 9th of July 2020, and the state of Victoria has done a deal with China, this One Belt, One Road initiative, as they call it. It's putting the state into great difficulties, debt and everything else, huge problems. But that is only part of the issue, because this One Belt, One Road is a smart move by China. It's involving going to various countries that are pretty poor in the first place and got, financial issues and everything else. I mean, let's put it this way, South Pacific little countries like Vanuatu, Fiji, I think, and some other places are getting their infrastructure built. Maybe Papua New Guinea, I think, was one of them. Thinking about this, all Solomons. Oh, we'll build billions of dollars worth of infrastructure for you. Oh, and just sign here, if you can't pay it back, we'll control it. No, not only control it, we'll run it. It becomes our property of communist China. They're stupid enough, they sign it. Now, I'm not just attacking the Labor Party here, although some people might say, oh, we know you support the coalition and you don't support Labor, of course you're attacking. But I say, no, you're not right. I will be critical of any government that does stupid things in relation to China right now. And I'm talking about the federal government in Australia and the state government in New South Wales are doing things like going to build an airport out at Western Sydney and have metro and rail connections and everything into it. I would say to you, I'm not trying to be smart or funny, but if there's a war between the US and China, all of that stuff will be unnecessary and all trade will finish between Australia and China. And that means Australia would send no coal, no iron ore, no gas, nothing else to China, and China would send none of their junk, products to Australia. Now, if there is a war, as I do predict will occur, between the US and China, you think, oh, it's okay, well, it's bad enough. The Australian Prime Minister will make a public statement immediately and say we're terribly disappointed and sorry and saddened and all the rest of it that our friends in China, trading partner, and of course our ally, the United States, are at war. But China, we're not at war with China. Now, Xi Jinping would make a similar public statement straight away. And he'd say, oh no, we're not at war with Australia. They're not our enemies. But we reserve the right to attack American military assets wherever they stand. And that means any ship sitting in Woolloomooloo in Sydney will get sunk. Pine Gap base in Northern Territory get attacked, bombed. Northwest Cape, bombed. Aircraft sitting on the tarmac at Tyndall Air Base in the Northern Territory, bombed. And if anyone's laughing now, and they're, just can't contain their laughter, that's fine. But I'll make the statement, as I said, here we are, 9th of July 2020, I'm making the statement. Now, what we will see occur is something which makes this COVID-19 we're going through right now, and that's pretty much of a worry, isn't it? It'll make it look like nothing. It's just, don't worry about it. All I'm saying to everybody is be prepared for things to happen. Be prepared for things that you could never imagine. And, projects that you thought were going to be built may never get built. Like I said, Badger Ridge Creek Airport in Sydney may never get built. Might become a massive housing estate, and trains will be needed and metro might be needed and all that sort of thing to that area perhaps, but not going to be an airport. And on that score, of course, and it's another subject you might say, but I reckon a high-speed rail between Sydney and Canberra, Melbourne, and maybe Sydney, Brisbane, would get rid of the need for a second airport anyway. But that's just by the way. But I would welcome any polite and civil comments and any questions and discussion on the subject that I've now raised. So thanks for viewing.